How do we get design right in the first place? Well, in Australia, we have a set of design standards through Australian Standards, but they're primarily involved with the design of signage and parking. They have very specific requirements in those areas. All the rest tends to be covered by Austroads guidelines, design guidelines, either at the national level from Austroads or various guidance from states and territories. If you're from outside of Australia, your own country will have its own set of design standards and guidelines, but I do recommend, we refer to the Austroads guides in this unit, and I do recommend becoming familiar with them. They're very good guidelines, really. But of course, underneath that you have engineering judgment, which comes from experience. You can't simply take a design guideline straight out of the book and put it on road. You have to understand the context of the design in the situation where you're going to apply it. Unfortunately, if you are a hard engineer at heart, you may be dismayed to learn that there is rarely a single right answer in traffic engineering. Instead, every answer will have slightly different impacts on the safety, efficiency, and amenity of the roads. And understanding that relationship comes again through judgment and experience. Now, moving beyond the design side of things to the managing side of things, the road system's no longer just about building and designing. So in the heyday of the 50s, 60s, and 70s in the Western world, in places like Australia and the United States, the focus really was on designing and building. So in 1969, for example, this was the proposed freeway plan that traffic engineers decided we needed all of these freeways in order for Melbourne's roads to function properly. Well, we didn't get all of those freeways. The ones in red are the ones we have today. That was for a number of reasons, not the least of which building freeways is very expensive and it takes a lot of space. But this is not unique to Melbourne. There's been a big shift across most of the developed world, away from just building and building and building more infrastructure, towards, first of all, recognizing that you have to maintain all of this infrastructure, but also understanding that you can't just design and build your way out of congestion and building more and more roads. You have to operate what you've got efficiently. It's very expensive to build roads, and you don't always have the space to do it, and it can have negative impacts on the community. So instead, we have to be more efficient and clever with how we operate and manage the roads that we do have.